Hi everyone, welcome back. So many of you were asking me to post my daily progress video, how I used to do last year. However, I have not started it yet, but I am planning to start it from 1st of March. I wanted to take some time to figure out other things. So I'm planning to start it from 1st of March, but before that, there are few beginners who wanted to know, how to proceed further, what should be covered in the next month or the coming few months. So when I started my preparation, that time I also had these doubts because there are so many things to be covered. There are many people who just focuses on phase one before phase one examination and then try to cover the phase two examination. And there are few who focuses solely on phase one, phase two before the phase one examination. And after the notification, they give all their time to phase one. Now, it totally depends on your skill set and your experience of the examination on what you should be doing. So, as we know, notification, like at least you have 4 to 5 good months, okay, before the exam happens, phase one exam happens, or I would say notification also. I have no idea when it will come, but still you can take 4 to 5 months before your phase one examination. So, considering that, I think the next 3 months you have the flexibility to invest your time as per your weaknesses and your strength. So I'll be sharing how I would be doing it and how I did it last year so that you have certain reference on how you can plan your preparation. Okay, so for me, as I'll be giving this exam second year, so there are certain aspects that are already covered for me. Like for example, management static part. It is not just like it is not fresh for me. I have already read it once. I have written descriptive answers for it, so it is not very new thing to me. So it won't take long time for me to cover management. Similar for finance and other things. However, the current affairs part, it will be same how it will be for you guys, for beginners, I would say. Okay, so firstly, what I am targeting for the next 3 months. Okay, so uh, as I told you, I for next 3 months, I think you have good enough time to give it as per your weaknesses. So for first three months, what I'll do is I'll cover the static portion of phase two. Now, when I say static portion, there are few people that they were asking what do I mean by static. So static is something that is covered in your that is mentioned in your syllabus. So in your syllabus of finance management and ESI, there are certain chapters that you need to cover. Now, having said that, in the recent years, if you see the trend, not many questions are asked from the static portion, but it is not it like considering you have enough time, I would recommend you to cover the static portion because it will help you in objective as well as in descriptive because you never know how how paper can surprise you. So first, I'll say to you, even if you're a beginner, try to give some hours of your day for static portion because once it will be very difficult for you to cover the static after your phase one examination because syllabus is not that less. I won't say it's huge, but it is moderate level, so you need some good amount of time to cover the static portion. Okay, so for me, I'll try to cover these three static syllabus of these three subjects. However, I'll be very selective in this. I'll not like go in very depth or I'll not cover every chapters, especially for ESI. But that thing you will come to know with time. Okay. Now, second that I need to work on is that I'll work on the weak subjects of phase one. So for me, reasoning and English are fine. Quant is something that I need to work on. Quant is something I won't say it is my weak area because I am good at quant, but it is very difficult for me to manage the time uh, while solving the question. So if there is no time limit, it is like I am able to do all the questions. If there is limit, it gets very difficult for me to even attempt 8 or 9 questions. So I want to work on that area. Now, how you will know what is your weak area? You need to give the mock test that will help you in uh, analyzing what you're good at, what you're weak at, and accordingly you can work on it. Okay, so for me it will be quant and GA to anyways we all have to do, so I'll do it like on a regular basis. We will discuss this later. And quant also I need to work on. So for this next 3 months my target is to be very good at quant, so that in that 25 minutes I am able to solve maximum questions. Okay, next is mock test for phase 1. As I am not giving more time to other sections of phase 1, so I think it is not very wise to just leave your strong subjects. You should, uh, keep working on it so that you don't become bad at those subjects. So I'll give the mock test. It will help me to be up to date with the timings and other things that I'm lacking. If some, like let's say in mock, if I'm not practicing reasoning and English, but if I give mocks, I'll be in touch with those subjects as well. So I'll be giving the mocks for phase 1. Then daily newspaper, it is given. You either read newspaper or you go through the editorials that are coming in the telegram or anything you want, but you have to do it on a daily basis. It's a given, it's must. Please don't rely on weekly, monthly and all. That is also important, but take it as a revision thing. Don't solely rely on the weekly and monthly compilation. Go, like, read the editorials. It will be very helpful for your descriptive as well. Okay, then schemes. I'm not saying I'll cover all these schemes, but I'll try to cover the flagship schemes and I'll try to make short notes out of it, because in the exam, like this year, there were not many questions from schemes, but still, schemes are very important because, firstly, anytime, they can ask question from schemes. Second is, it is important in your descriptive. Okay, next, I'll practice descriptive writing. Now, I'll tell you, I started practicing it after my phase 1 result, and I think I did it only for 10 days, so it was not very good, so I want to improve it this time. What I want to do is I want to practice in time manner. In my last attempt, before also I used to do descriptive answer writing, but I used to do it like, my focus was on mainly on content, and I used to take 40 minutes, 50 minutes to write one answer. But in the main exam, in 90 minutes, you have to write four answers, and it gets very difficult with all the typing and other typing errors and spelling errors and other things. So you need to practice it in timed manner. So this time I'll be working on this. So these are my targets for next 3 months, and there are, like, it is not possible to simply start one subject and complete it, then start with other subject, because it get very monotonous, and you need to take different things at a time. Okay, otherwise it will be like you completed management now, after that you are focused on phase 1, all the quant, reasoning and other things, and then you will forget management. You have to take everything in such a way that revision also happens. Okay, so how I'll be doing it, this is just my target for March and April. And April also, what I am planning is mid-April. And once I complete a few of these main subjects, then I'll add the new ones to it. Okay, so how I'm thinking I'll do it is, first would be quant. I'll do it on alternate days. Okay, you can decide on how you want to do it, as per how you think, how weak you are or how good you are. If you think your quant is good, maybe just give mocks. Don't do it on daily basis. If your reasoning is not good, maybe do it on a daily basis. Okay, and this I'll do chapter wise practice, not the complete like mock sectional test kind of thing, but chapter wise I'll practice it. Okay, so I'll do it for around 1.5 months, but let's see, if I want to extend, I can do it until April end also. Okay, reasoning. I think I don't need that much of effort, but still I don't want to completely leave it. So I'll give sectional test for reasoning on weekly basis so that I can increase my speed and all. Okay, and I am in touch with reasoning. Newspaper or telegram, this will happen on a daily basis. So approximately it takes me 1 hour every day to cover news and all. So this is given. I have to do it 1 hour every day. Okay. After that, current affairs cloud. Some of you were asking, okay, you have an app for this. You I think for quizzes and all, you can pay. They take minimum amount. I think 300, 400 or 500 maybe. That is for yearly subscription or something like that. So I have it. So I cover it on a weekly basis, not on a daily basis. Okay, why I'm doing it? Because we daily basis I am already covering the newspaper and other things. And for the other miscellaneous, if I'm not able to cover other things, then Affairs Cloud Pocket weekly pocket PDF will help me, and then I'll do quizzes. That this thing weekly I'll do. So maybe on Saturday or Sunday, depending on how much time I have on that day, I'll do it on any one of these days. Okay, on weekly basis. Now, RBI News, this I do from EduTab's YouTube channel. I have mentioned it on many videos. So this video, in this playlist, I think they add videos every alternate days. So I'll also do it every alternate days, but I have to cover the January and Feb videos as well. So I'll have some backup. So I need to cover these backlogs as well. Okay, next is phase one mock. Now these mocks, firstly, if you are a beginner, let me tell you, there are certain platforms, they will conduct live mock test, okay, on certain occasions. And Olive Board is one of the platform that will do it on weekly basis. Every week they will have live mock test, but it will be mini mock test. So that means instead of 200 marks, you will have it for 100 marks and for 1 hour. Okay, but it is of good level, so you should attempt it. Okay, you will know where you stand. Okay, it is very important to evaluate that as well. So I'll do it on weekly basis, Saturday or Sunday. Okay, if there is any live mock that week, I'll go for it. If not, I'll go with any free mock that is there. Right now, I have not taken any test series. Okay, last year I took from EduTap. I had course, so I had it from Practice Mock. Okay, and one more, and Olive Board free mock test I used to give. Okay, these three I used to give. Okay, so weekly I'll go with the mock test. Then management. Now management is something that I have covered last time, and I think it is not very difficult, and it won't take me long time to revise it. So I thought I'll do it on alternate days, and one chapter I'll do on daily basis. Now when I say one chapter per day, I only mean to just revise the content of that particular chapter. A descriptive answer writing or other practice, this is not included as of now. That I'll decide on that particular day when I'll be doing the descriptive answer writing, if I should write it on current topics or from management or from finance. These things I'll decide that day, because I don't want to because every day is different. Every day, you might feel that okay, today I can give 6 hours to my study, but there will be days when you will be able to give just 1 hour. So I don't want to restrict my strategy based on those hours, but on the whole syllabus point of view, like what all I need to cover in this time frame. Okay, now finance, I don't want to start management and finance together, because I know I am starting quant. Okay, and it can take alternate days time, like it can take my 1 or 2 hours. So I don't want to start, I don't want to have a very hectic schedule because of this. Like, make a very realistic schedule. Okay, that will be very helpful, because you will be able to track your progress. What is the point if you have made like 10 goals of a day and you are able to complete just two? So better just make 2 or 3 goals, and then try to complete it that day. Okay, so finance I'll start only after I have done management, revision is done. Okay, now when I say management and quant alternate days, so I might start with, let's say, Monday I'll start with quant, then Tuesday I'll go with management. Similarly, I can take it alternate days, because these are the major big targets that I have that can take more time, like 2 hours maybe. Okay, so finance I'll start once management is done. Now I'm not sure how many days it can take, but let's see. Okay, now then descriptive, I don't want to overdo it as of now, but I want to improve my, typing speed, uh, thinking speed, how do I frame my answers, those things. So I'll do it on a weekly basis, and I'll do it in a timed manner. Like, I'll take 4 questions, I'll start my timer for 90 minutes, and I'll try to write those four answers in that 90 minutes. So I can do it on any day of the week depending on my, like, how free I am on that day. Okay. Next is monthly current affairs. This you can, like, I want to do it because current affairs need a lot of revision. Now, like, for example, daily I'm reading newspaper, then weekly I have covered. If there is something that I have missed, then I'll go through the monthly current affairs video. This I have talked about before. I'll do it from Affairs Mind YouTube channel. Okay, so I'll start this on a monthly basis. I have to cover Jan and Fab videos, but right now I'm thinking maybe I just start from March, because this video will be majorly for phase one. And I think, phase one, last time I started from January, I covered January and all, but I think it was not very helpful to me. So I'm planning to start the this phase one current affairs, particularly focused on phase one, from March. So I have written it, but I'll think about it if I want to do it from Jan or March. Okay. Next is phase two ESI and FM mock. Now last year Olive Board, if I remember correctly, they used to have it live free mocks on weekly basis. So they used to have it on Monday and Tuesday. Okay, if I'm correct. So if they are continuing it, then I'll be giving these free mock test for phase two. It is very small mock test, half an hour, half an hour, two mock test. It will take you total 1 hour in a week, and it will cover your ESI and FM. So I think it is a good way to, start doing it. You will get to know about the pattern of the questions, how they are asking in phase two, because it is different from how they ask in phase one. Okay, so it will be good for you if you are beginner, just go with this. And then there are certain reports that are mentioned in the syllabus and that are important. So I'll cover it as and when those reports are released, because majorly reports are little bulky and it gets difficult to cover it all together. So it is good, like, if IMF is releasing some report or World Bank is releasing the report which are mentioned in your syllabus and which are very important. For example, RBI annual report. Now whenever they release these report, just try to cover it and make short notes out of it, because these will be very helpful. Similarly for budget, okay, for economic survey, try to cover it, make short notes out of it, and revise those things, because it is not possible to every time go back to budget video and then revise it. So for these important things, make short notes. Now, there will be certain reports which will be annual, and then there will be few reports which will be semi-annual, like it will come 2 times in a year. So just align yourself, like, just see when the next report will be released. Let's say some report got released in December. Now again it will get released in June. So in such cases, you can wait for June and cover the latest release instead of, covering the December one. So like that, do little research, and then it will be helpful to you. Now, how do you track what all is covered and all? Just don't blindly do it. Either you do it in your notebook, or you are making online notes, whatever you want. Okay, but one thing is, try to just mark somewhere what all you have covered. It is very important to visualize how much you have covered, and it gives you a lot of motivation. Like, for example, this is from last year when I was preparing for management. Okay, so I had written the management syllabus. So whenever I used to complete something, I used to just highlight it. It used to give me an understanding of how much syllabus I have completed. Okay, now if I look at this, I have covered all except this first fundamental of management and organizational behavior. Okay, other than this, I have covered everything. So it gives me little motivation that, okay, just one chapter is left, other I have completed. So try to mark it. Okay, now don't do it, like, it's up to you. I won't say don't do it. Like GA syllabus, it doesn't matter, because there are so many things you won't be covered. It's like you will never be able to just cover government scheme at a time. It will take you a long time. There will be new updates to it. So, but for the reasoning and quant syllabus that are static, in such cases, cover it. Like, let's say blood relation, you have already done once, you have practiced it, just highlight it or mark it or just do anything that you want. In such cases, you won't miss out on important things or important chapters. Now, don't start, sequence wise. Start with the importance wise, like which chapter is important, which chapter is not important. How you will get to know which chapter is important, which chapter is not important? One way is go back to the previous year papers and see from which chapters they are asking more descriptive questions, from which chapter they are asking more objective questions. Okay, or instead go to the websites of these coaching institutes. They will let you know which chapters are important or not. Like if you go to EduTab's website, they have segregated like these chapters are important for objective, these are for descriptive. Now, having said that, don't completely rely on that information, but try to cover it in, like, considering that in your mind. Like for example, uh, communication is important for descriptive answer writing. This year also there were so many questions from communication chapter. Now, when you read communication chapter, read it in such a way that you are able to write descriptive answers, right? And some chapters, like for example, personality and perception, there are chances that the descriptive can come, but if not, just read it with a perspective that it is important for objective. Now, when you practice the answer writing, do it for all, but your focus should be very clear that okay, so many questions are asked from leadership, so I should read it in such a way that I am able to write descriptive answers as well. So take this approach so that it becomes easier for you. Otherwise, it will be like you completed the whole syllabus and now you don't know how to write the descriptive because you didn't focus on the important, descriptive questions that can be formed from that chapter. Okay, so do it in this way. Also, when you are attempting mock, this is very important. I did it, but I did it at a very later stage. But I will tell you what you should do. Whenever you're giving mock, prepare a table. It can be weekly. Okay, just ignore what I have written here because this was something that I was planning just before my phase 1 exam. But I'm just giving you an example of how you should approach it. Now, let's say you are giving Olive Board weekly live mock test. Okay, so give the and give like where you gave, now which what mock test you gave. Okay, date. Now add two more rows to it. Okay, first is you should mention your score, your rank, okay, and then what you did wrong in that mock. Okay, what were your learnings from that mock? And every time you give a mock, please analyze it after the solutions are out. Please do it again, see where you lagged, what happened that you were not able to solve that questions. Okay, so like that, every mock, what went wrong and what you learned from that mock. Okay, just try to write it down, it make a table. Right now you won't understand it, but once you have given, like, let's say 10 marks. Okay, like if I'm taking for 2 weeks, let's say, so for these 2 weeks, April and March, you must have given 8 marks, let's say. So if for 8 marks, if you will see now, every time you have written what went well, what you did wrong, how, what things you want to avoid in your next mock, you will realize that consciously you are not repeating those mistakes. So try to do it in this way, that make a table every time, give the data, how much marks you got next week, how much you got, what went well that you scored better this time. If you didn't score good this time, what went well, what didn't well. So is it quant, is it reasoning, or is it English that you're not able to attempt many questions in English in that time frame? So try to look into these things that will help you recognize what are your weaknesses, what you need to do better, and what you need to focus more on. Okay, so these are some of the uh, points that were my learnings, okay, that I learned along the preparation and what I'm planning to do ahead for the next few months. Okay, so I hope you all also will also prepare a plan accordingly, and you can also start a new month is starting. It is so it will be very good if you start from now itself and try to be consistent. In a long run, it helps you immensely. I'll tell you, after the phase 1 result, my I already completed my management and some chapters of finance before, so it helped me a lot that time because I was not very much panicked that oh my God, everything is new now. I don't know anything about management. I need to read it all, because these are simple things that you need to cover from before. It will really help you at later stage. Okay, so hope this was helpful. Thank you.